You've heard me on the subject before, Joyce. I think murderers are animals. Once upon a time, I could hang them. Now all I can do is lock them up. And make sure I lock them up for as long as I can.
You're right. I have heard it before. And I'm busy.
Oh, just chatting. Have to be careful, though. The judge's rules say I can't ask questions. Not if my mind's made up.
I should think you've asked enough. And caused me enough trouble.
Oh, you caused the trouble, Joyce. You forced me to get a coroner's order to dig up your husband.
He died quiet. I wanted him left like that.
And you made the noise. I like George. Lots of things wrong with him, but nobody's perfect.
That's what all his boozing cronies say, including you. Look, Superintendent, I listened to your regrets at the funeral. That was 6 months ago. I'm busy and I've got a business to run.
And a new husband to help you? Unless he's busy making his pocket money on the golf course.
He's outside and you know it.
Great thing, devotion. Not enough of it in this world.
This coffee is not very good and I don't particularly like your company. What do you want?
Well, the judge's rules say I can't charge anybody until I've got enough evidence. This is the pathologist's report on the remains of your husband. Well, you won't have to worry about wheat in the grave, Joyce. There was enough poison in his system to stop anything growing there. There was bloody nearly enough poison to keep that old cemetery bare. Ursula Joyce Ramsdell, I'm therefore charging you with the murder of the late George Kershaw on or about the 23rd of February, 1971. You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but what you say may be put in writing and given in evidence. Do you want to say anything?
Yes. It's a lie and it's stupid. All this rigmarole on the strength of 2 anonymous letters.
And a report from a pretty good laboratory.
I want to see my husband and then a solicitor, and you can't stop me.
I wouldn't want to. Send in Mr. Ramsdell, will you? And a policewoman. George used to kid about it when he'd had a few. Said he was a shock trooper in the war between the sexes, and one of these days he was going to go over the top. And you'd be waiting for him with a carving knife. I think he'd have liked that better. I'm bloody sure he would. Anything's cleaner than poison.
I'll remember you said that.
But not in front of witnesses. I should warn you that your wife has just been charged with murder.
You can't. It's idiot.
He knows that. Now, don't fuss. Go and see Giles Maxwell. Tell him to get down here. Tell him I want the best barrister he can find. You know where to find the checkbook. Bring it in here and I'll sign them when we need them.
You could have a word with the bank. I could handle it.
I know you could, but let's do it this way.
When all this is over, you are going to be very, very sorry. And very, very unemployed.
You're not lucky with them, are you, Joyce? The private checkbook. Love me bank balance. Oh, you must wonder sometimes which comes first.
The anonymous letters bother me. They bother me a great deal.
Sir Craig, now you're a solicitor, you should know that. Where is that damn barrister? And why here?
We're very lucky to get an appointment today. Just be thankful that damn barrister was in court in this town.
Sorry to have kept you. Last day of quarter sessions, and the recorder thought he had a license to be long-winded. How are you, Mr. Maxwell?
Hoping you'll accept this brief. The only times we've met, you've been on the other side, and I've taken a pasty.
We had good cases.
No, so did we. Until you kicked them to bits.
Professional compliments always welcome.
Hard day? I'll ring for some tea.
Oh, please.
This is Mr. Ramsdell, client's husband.
How do you do?
Miss Peterson?
Sorry to meet here, but it was easier for me. Interviews should take place in chambers, but when you're on circuit, you see your chambers about once a year.
Now, Miss Peterson. Your clerk's given you the details.
Yes. First of all, why me? I've handled criminal work, but quite a few people on this circuit have handled more. You need a silk.
I've seen you work.
And?
A woman's on a murder charge, and there's a jury to convince. I think we stand a better chance if there's another woman defending her. To hell with the QC.
Same old Maxwell, no frills on the explanation. Thank you for that.
Charles, I've told you where to get the best there is. That's what Joyce wants.
It's outrageous to me, Jane.
It's not very impressive, is it? Just a woman in a black suit carrying a briefcase. But if you need reassurance, I can give it to you. The real work's on my feet in court. The wigs and the gowns and the learned precedents. And in offices like this, when the facts and opinions are put together.
Mr. Ramsdell's still a bit shaken. Thank you, sir.
We shall need our own pathologist. You can arrange that, Mr. Maxwell. And if I'm to take this case, we'd better instruct a junior. It's going to be heavy. I'll need someone for notes and research. Thank you. No sugar. Now, keep Mrs. Ramsdell in custody. I would like to see her as soon as possible.
You make it sound so cold-blooded. It is my wife we're talking about.
We're not being cold-blooded, Mr. Ramsdell. We're being practical. It's the only way we can help.
Jonathan Osmond, QC. Got that? Osmond. You left at once, Calloway.
Yes, sir. Well, that's it then. The voice from on high. He doesn't want the Director of Public Prosecutions in on the Ramsdell case. He wants a buddy of his called Osmond. Yeah. Damned fine chap.
Shouldn't be too bad, Super. We've got a good case.
I know that. I just want the presentation to be as good as the stuff we've got.
Osmond was on the circuit a long time. That's how he's a friend of the Chief's.
Yeah. Then he took silk and got bottle happy for a year in London. Wife, 5 children, Bentley, and 2 houses to support. Now, I like 'em hungry. And I like 'em when they work a long day. And I don't like 'em when they try and cover as much ground as Osmond does.
There was no need for you to stay on, Miss Peterson. It's a formality. I could have done it.
It's also a charge of murder. And Mrs. Ramsdell's confidence. She's entitled to see her counsel here.
I owe you 1 round of surprised and respectful applause.
Yes, Mr. Helen. Your Worship, the full details of the prosecution's case are contained in the statements before you. I shall not be calling any of the persons responsible for their statements, but I am asking that all witnesses be fully bound over to give evidence at the trial.
So be it, Mr. Helen. Ursula Joyce Ramsdell, you are charged with murder in that you did, on or about the 23rd of February 1971, in the county of Yorkshire, murder your then husband, George Kershaw. You will have the opportunity to give evidence before us and to call witnesses. But first, I'm going to ask you whether you wish to say anything in answer to the charge. You need not say anything unless you wish to do so. You have nothing to hope from any promise, and nothing to fear from any threat that may have been held out to induce you to make any admission or confession of guilt. Anything you say may be taken down and used in evidence at your trial. Do you wish to say anything?
Through me, Mrs. Ramsdell pleads not guilty, calls no witnesses, and reserves her defense.
I hereby commit Ursula Joyce Ramsdell for trial at the next assizes, to be held in this town on the 20th of November.
I see the Peterson lady was here.
She would be.
I don't see any sign of our expensive bloody John Osmond or any of his lackeys.
Don't worry. You don't pay a man like Osmond to sit around magistrates' courts. You pay him when he's on his feet before a judge and a jury. That's when it's worth a guinea a breath.
One thing about prison, you get 10 hours sleep a night. The only thing I can't stand is the smell.
Oh, don't worry, Joyce. Won't be long now.
It had better not be. Did you bring those accounts?
There's a very good barrister here, and I think that the takings of your shops can wait.
They can't if she expects to get paid. Why her, anyway? Why not a man?
And that's a decision you leave to your solicitor, Mrs. Ramsdell. But it's not too late to change.
I just want the reasons. I'm used to a man's world. I've made a good living in it, and I've never asked any favors. I don't want to start now.
I feel exactly the same. There are more than 200 barristers on this circuit. About 18 are women. I'm one of them. If you're worried about my coping in a man's world, remember, I'm in it by choice.
Miss Peterson, is it?
Yes?
Ever been married?
Yes. Shall we get on with your problems?
Not very sympathetic, are you?
Mrs. Ramsdell's sympathy won't help. We need facts and the law. How long were you married to Kershaw?
20 years.
Any children?
No. I still blame him for that.
Oh, now, Joyce, be fair. A lot of that was your idea.
He should have talked me out of it. I had businesses to run. I still blame him.
What was he like?
Like? George Kershaw. The last of the good time Charlies. Charm the birds off the branches and then persuade the tree to give itself up for firewood. When he was out of the house, in the club, the hotel or somewhere.
Did he drink much?
Well, not by his standards, only 8 hours a day.
What did he do for a living?
He married me. I was a cash box with a ring on its finger. Oh, I gave him work round the shops, called him manager, moved him every month so as to keep count of how much his big greedy fist got out of the till. 2 years ago, I learned more sense.
What did he do for money then?
Borrowed, got credit, I still ended up paying. I've got a good reputation in this town.
Any other reason for moving him from the shops?
Oh, you mean the little girls? Well, that didn't bother me. That was standard for George. Gave him something to do when the pubs were shut.
Any fraudulent conversions, signing checks with your name, that sort of thing?
None that anybody knew about.
Was he in good health?
I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. Mind you, he knew it. Round to the doctor's every month. More pills in his bathroom than boots in the high street. Always in and out of the chemist's.
And the eventual cause of death, as certified?
Heart failure. You probably heard there was going to be a whiskey shortage.
I think that's as far as we can go for the moment, Mr. Maxwell. I'd be glad if you'd stay and take a preliminary statement. Mrs. Ramsdell, your marriage was obviously not the best in the world, but it did last for 20 years. There must have been a few good days, weeks, months. It would help if you tried to remember some of those.
Down memory lane? No, thank you.
You may not be walking memory lane alone, Mrs. Ramsdell. You may have a very good prosecuting counsel prodding you down it. Think about that. Now, I brought you some soap. They tell me official issue's terrible. Goodbye, Mr. Maxwell. I'll be in touch.
What was your husband like?
I don't think that's relevant. And I don't think it would help you to know.
What's the big mystery about?
No mystery. Just the difference between private and professional life. You don't allow the two to overlap.
I'll take your word for it. Where are those accounts?
And how is the hard lady herself?
Mrs. Ramsdell? Stoical is about the best description.
Oh, she's done all right.
Dr. Connor, I'd like you to tell me about the late George Kershaw.
A good man, rest his soul. Nobody's fool, nobody's lapdog. Bit of a hypochondriac, but he could laugh about it. I remember him coming to me the day after he'd drunk best part of a bottle of Benedictine. He was convinced he had a brain tumor and they were going to operate that afternoon.
What about his general constitution?
Stronger than it deserved to be when you think of the way he lived. He did everything wrong, that was George. He didn't want to live forever, but while he was here, he'd enjoy it.
You sound as though you were a good friend of his.
George had a lot of good friends. I was one of them.
You certified the cause of death as heart failure.
I did. There were all the symptoms.
You were upset at the time?
Miss Peterson, I'm soft enough to be upset every time I see a dead human being. Oh, why not say it. I'm glad his heart failed before she broke it for him. A man's built to stand, not crawl.
Do you know Mrs. Ramsdell well?
No. I suppose not really.
Thank you, Dr. Connor. I'd be glad if you give Mr. Maxwell's assistant a general medical history of Mr. Kershaw.
I've already given one to the police yesterday.
Oh, trouble. I'm not supposed to talk to prosecution witnesses.
In that case, I'll resign as a witness.
Thank you.
I'm glad I waited, Miss Peterson. You know, that's one advantage of being a criminal I'd never thought of.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank goodness for the weekend. See you in 3 weeks for the assizes.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. Yes? Oh, hello, Henry. I haven't been in London for 8 weeks. How can you expect me to know every bit of gossip in Chambers? Henry, it's Friday. I've only just got back. It's late and I'm tired. No, I am not coming down to the bright lights. You come up here. It'll do you good. It's less sinful and the air is fresher. Oh, well, I'll see you at the assizes. You must come to dinner. We'll arrange it then. Bye, Henry.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Not relevant.
And you knew Peterson had been married to a layabout who lived off her for a bit. And then did 3 years for embezzlement while she went up to her eyeballs in debt to pay it off.
I knew that, yeah.
And you still kept your mouth shut.
Super. I'm interested in Harriet Peterson's professional conduct, not her personal life.
You bloody lawyers are thicker than the thieves you're supposed to defend.
There's a code, yeah. Coppers stick together, too. Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
Thank you for bringing me.
It's the least I could do. You've done a lot of homework on the Ramsdell case.
I'm being paid a lot of money. I wish I could ask you through for a drink.
I know that really would make history. A solicitor in a bar mess, especially on grand night, I'd be about as welcome as a deaf jury.
Nothing personal, just the rules.
I know. Players and gentlemen. But don't worry about it. I'll get my cloth cap and find a foil.
I wish I could join you. Henry!
My dear Harriet, how nice to see you. What are you doing?
Murder defense.
Oh, yes, the poisoning. Who's against you?
Osmond.
I've just been talking to him. He's in good form.
Take my advice and never act for a bishop. They've all got a school chum or a relative who's a lawyer, and the first thing they find out is that a barrister can't sue anyone for his fee. So they pay you twopence a year out of the poor box and expect you to take the rest in prayer. Not good enough. Not with 5 children and a big house. I want it now. I'll just have to risk any rewards in the hereafter.
He'll be difficult to beat. Who's the judge?
Bosanquet. I'm a bit worried about him, too. He's not been well, and they say he's beginning to take too much of his law on trust from counsel in front of him.
Henry Buttersford, as I live and breathe. What are you doing in the wilds of this circuit?
I thought I'd cough up my 5 guineas for moving out of London. Somebody's got to pay for the vintage claret for this lot. I'm here on a fat libel.
Mercenary as always.
You know Harriet Peterson, an ex-pupil of mine?
That was a long time ago.
Oh, we know each other quite well. Come to think of it, I heard your first case. She was young and enthusiastic, and on the verge of slandering the other side most of the time. However, you were pretty enough to get away with it. You still are. Well, perhaps I shouldn't say that. You're in front of me tomorrow. See you later, Henry.
People sucking up to judges. Well, then, Harriet, what about tomorrow? Shouldn't be much bother, should it? Some woman putting rat poison in the old man's porridge. It'll teach him to mind his table manners.
A lovely, simple view of the matrimonial universe.
It'll be a relief to me, I can tell you. I've got a damn great civil case coming on up here as well as this. There may be 5,000 on that brief, but I wish I could poison a few of their experts. It'd be a lot easier than arguing contract clauses.
What about Bosanquet?
Good as gold. Nods off a bit, but if you shout loud enough, you can keep him awake. I'm off to get some gin.
Henry, I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Circuit with its own butler, its own silver, the white linen. Clothes shop at the talk. Tomorrow we'll put on our wigs and pretend to be at each other's throats. Down the road, there's a woman in a cell who could go to prison for life if I don't do the job properly.
Not guilty.
The names I'm about to read to you are those of the jurors who will try your case. If you have any objection to them, you shall state it as they come to the testament to be sworn, and your objection shall be duly heard.
And so, my lord, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here to consider a most serious charge. The taking of human life. This taking of life, which we call murder, can assume many forms. We are here faced, in my opinion, with the worst form of all. The slow and premeditated administering of a toxic substance which can lead only to a gradual and inevitable death. Murder on impulse, I can understand. The burst of anguish or rage, not so here. This was not a murder of impulse. This was a planned and calculated act for which there can be no excuse of sudden rage or uncontrolled emotion. This was the taking of a life by degrees. This was a heinous and long drawn-out destruction.
Old Osmond's really hitting the top notes.
All he needs is a piano accompaniment.
If I'm going to deliver Maxwell's prescription in person, the least I can do is take a bonus in refreshment. Here's to warm stethoscopes.
Do you think I could have one?
Bit public for you, isn't it? I thought you pulled the curtains first, and then only took a glass of sherry.
Dr. Connor, you can keep your bedside jocularity to yourself. My wife is on trial for murder.
I'd forgotten. You and I became bosom enemies when they wanted to exhume George.
Still George, isn't it? Good old George. Never a bad word. Doesn't anyone remember how hard Joyce worked?
All the time. But I haven't heard of you putting in any long days lately. Perhaps you won't need to now. Just sit back and live on the proceeds.
Proceeds of what?
Ramsdell, I've seen Eccles cakes with more backbone than you. And less hypocritical. You know damn well what proceeds. Joyce's money. So sit down and drink your whiskey and don't try and kid me you're nervous because of your wife.
I know it is getting late, my lord, but I must persist. Superintendent, Mr. Kershaw had been buried for 6 months before exhumation. Is that correct?
Yes.
And during that time, the graveyard had been cleared and replanted, and a great deal of weed killer had been used. Do you know this to be so?
Yes?
Did you instruct your pathologist to consider this in his findings?
No.
Have you interviewed the undertaker responsible for the embalming of the late Mr. Kershaw?
Yes.
Were you given full details of the embalming fluids used?
Yes?
Did you know some of these to be toxic?
I didn't know.
Would you consider these factors sufficient to require the opinion of a second pathologist?
Definitely not. The findings were conclusive.
Are you an expert in pathology, Superintendent?
You know I'm not.
No, you're a policeman. I wonder, therefore, if you've made any attempt to trace the author of the anonymous letters which led to this case.
Not really, no.
May I ask why?
You may. We receive 12 anonymous letters a day, and all police forces are overworked.
In that case, Superintendent, that will be all from me.
I have no re-examination, my lord.
The court will rise.
There's a lot of it I don't understand, so how can you expect the jury to? Especially the medical bits.
Harriet Peterson spent a lot of the day making sure that they did, sorting out facts from opinion.
How are you feeling, Mrs. Ramsdell?
A bit tired. A bit bored, to tell you the truth.
You should try doing it for a living. We've done a lot of homework, but we're still up against motive, opportunity, and facts. When I start my case, you'll be called as the first witness. I'm going to make it as short as I can. I want you to remember two things. First, you were married to Kershaw for 20 years. I want the good side of the marriage, some reason for its survival. After that, it'll be character build-up. Successful businesswoman, respected, great deal to lose. And Mr. Maxwell has an impressive list of character witnesses.
2 ex-mayors and an ex-chief constable is a fairly strong batting order.
Osmond is going to take you through all the bad bits, the drink and the women. And when he does, I know it'll be difficult, but try and keep him as early in time as you can and remind him that you stood it for 20 years.
When will this be?
Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I can't see Osmond finishing in time. But if he does, I'll try for an adjournment. The judge is pretty tired. We should start with a clean sheet on Monday.
Dr. Connor, in view of the manner and content of your answers, I am ruling that the prosecution may treat you as a hostile witness. Continue, Mr. Osmond.
What was Mrs. Ramsdell's attitude to the exhumation of her late husband?
Hostile. Deeply opposed.
Did you share this opposition?
Yes.
Why?
I have a certain respect for the dead. Most of the time, it's all you can offer.
Was your objection based on the fact that you had signed the death certificate?
Not at all.
And you certified that George Kershaw, in your opinion, died of heart failure?
It is on the certificate, with my signature.
You have seen the pathologist's report. Do you now concede that your reading of Mr. Kershaw's symptoms might have been mistaken?
Medicine is not the law. It is still an inexact science. Doctors bury their mistakes. Architects look at theirs for 20 years, and I suppose lawyers write theirs down in books.
Answer the question, please.
If I said I was never mistaken, I'd be a damn poor doctor. That's why we have second opinions.
Thank you, Dr. Connor.
Did Mr. Kershaw take care of his health?
If you mean, did he see me often? Yes.
And in other ways?
He'd have needed the constitution of a bullock to go on the way he was doing.
Now, was he in that age group where heart failure is most common, particularly following a life of excess?
He was.
Thank you, Dr. Connor. That'll be all.
Mr. Osmond? And I trust we have ended the Hogarthian life and times of the late Mr. Kershaw. I think his character has been quite firmly established.
That is my last witness, my lord, but I would like to recall the pathologist on one small point.
In that case, the court is adjourned for lunch.
All stand. This arrived for you an hour ago.
Oh, probably some piece of impudence from my other case. Thank you, Superintendent.
That was a nice pause by old Osmond. Good tactics. Hang about with the doctor for another hour, and we end the day with Mrs. Ramsdell so that she has to sweat over the weekend.
That's the trouble with having 2 cases on the go at once. Never enough time, and the last thing I needed was this.
What is it?
Our anonymous friend with the letters. Only this time he sent one that's signed by your client, Mrs. Ramsdell, to the late lamented George Kershaw.
Privileged communication?
Exactly. Inadmissible. We all know the law on privileged communications between spouses. This was written during their cosy little marriage. Where is that idiot junior of mine? He was supposed to collect a proof for me from some maritime hermit in this other case.
May I see the letter?
Oh, have it if you like. No good to me. I'm off for a bowl of gin.
Do you think the letter's admissible?
I don't know. I don't think so. If Osmond's not going to do his homework, we must. I want you to go to London and search through the libraries, the one in Chambers and the Bar Library. You'll probably be cross-eyed from the small print. But I want to know anything you can find on the extent of privileged communications between spouses. Start with this. And ring me tonight at the cottage. It doesn't matter what time.
I think you're very lucky, Mr. Ramsdell. It's the second time this week a policeman stopped you on the pavement and taken your car keys off you. He could have let you climb in and then pinched you for drunken driving. So take a taxi and watch your step.
You're a bad loser. You've got my wife in court. Now you want me there as well.
Court's adjourned for the weekend, and what happens to your wife is up to a judge and jury. Just a minute. I wonder about anonymous letters, especially when prosecuting counsel get them as well.
No wonder you're in plain clothes. You never find a helmet small enough to fit that sort of head. You think I sent those letters?
I didn't say that. And what I think is my business. But I don't like unnecessary puzzles, Mr. Ramsdell. If I did, I'd buy jigsaws.
I don't know how you do it, Harriet. Smoked salmon, saddle of lamb, branded peaches, Stilton. No wonder you sneer at London restaurants.
Mrs. Gardner from the village does most of it. I just come home and use the oven.
Mind not the reason why, just keep it up.
I intend to.
It's no use trying to talk you out of it. Start a London practice. Coming to my chambers. It might be a bit sticky to begin with, but you'll soon pick up the work.
Why should I? I like circuit life.
Now, yes, but what about in 10 years' time? The same old merry-go-round, the same old faces, the same old kidding yourself that the chat in the bar mess is company.
So I start keeping a bottle in my room and booking double beds. No, Henry, I'm a long way from that.
It's still lonely whether you accept it or not.
It suits me. I might be even lonelier in London.
Well, I now have some more of your excellent port, and stop talking to you as if you were still my pupil.
Excuse me.
Now, that's the call you've been waiting for all evening.
Why can't I leave well alone? Yes? Yes, Daniel. Just pray see the cases and findings. Yeah? Go on. What? Are you sure? Sorry, that was a silly question. Names again, please. Now go and bathe your eyes. You've done well. Yes, we are in trouble. I don't know, Daniel. I don't know what I'm going to do. Osmond was given a letter today written by Mrs. Ramsdell to her late husband.
Privileged communication. Not admissible as evidence.
That's what Osmond thinks. He's not going to introduce it.
So what's the matter?
I found case law to prove that the letter is admissible.
Well, that's Osmond's so kind. Most really.
And mine. I have to tell him about the case law. I have to tell him the letter's admissible. And if he introduces that letter, they'll find my client guilty just as surely as you're sitting at this table. Henry, I don't know what to do.
I can only quote code of conduct at you. Defending counsel is under a duty to disclose to the court cases which he thinks may be useful to the prosecution, and of which he thinks the prosecution may be unaware.
And whether he does or not is up to defending counsel.
That's not what it says. It says duty to the court.
What about duty to the client? Duty to the good, honest solicitors who instruct you.
Think it over. Remember the questions you used to ask. Remember the answers you managed to hammer out.
That was theory. This is practice. I might have to do something which could send the client I'm supposed to defend to prison for the rest of her life. I remember the answers all right. The law is an entire fabric. Osmond and I, Mrs. Ramsdell and the judge, are just small strands. That fabric took centuries to build, and the strands aren't important. just the fabric. And its rules and its codes and its dignity. And once there was a revolution when Parliament tried to set itself above the law we represent. I know all that. But I still don't know if I should follow the rules and put Mrs. Ramsdell in prison. Henry, I don't know what to do. Mr. Maxwell, I have no choice. I have to inform prosecuting counsel that the letter is admissible in evidence.
Oh, no, you don't. I've heard of hanging judges, but a hanging defense counsel makes me think I'm going mad. You put that letter in evidence, and we're out. Finished. Stick Joyce Ramsdell in a cell and throw away the key. Oh, no, Miss Peterson. I'm not letting you do that.
I don't think you can stop me. I've read and I've thought, and it comes down to one thing. Duty to the court.
For God's sake, what about your duty to me, to Mrs. Ramsdell?
I am fully aware of that duty.
All right, then. Don't say anything. Look, Osmond will never notice, and then the judge will never know. And Harriet, please. You're doing marvelously. Don't throw it all away.
I am doing marvelously because I am working within the framework of the law. Once we move out of that framework, we're all lost.
All right. Now listen. Round this town, they reckon I like to win. I do. And I'm going to keep on winning. I'm not going to do a Judas on any client of mine, so now this minute, Miss Peterson, you are off this case.
That won't make any difference. I'd still have to go to the judge, you'd still have to ask for an adjournment while you brief other counsel, and they'd still put the letter in evidence.
And how about you? Do you think any solicitor is going to instruct you after this double cross?
It is not a double cross. Follow your thinking to its conclusion, and every court would admit suppression of evidence, then perjury, then intimidation, and God knows what else. I cannot move out of the framework of the law, Mr. Maxwell. Nor can you, nor can judge and jury. Now, do you want another barrister or not?
No.
We have to be in court soon. I must ask you this. Did you write this letter?
Yes. But where did you get it? Presumably from the person that wrote the anonymous letters that started all this.
I've got to let it be introduced in evidence.
Why? Just tear it up.
I can't.
If the judge sees that, it's all over.
No. No, that's what I wanted to tell you. It just makes it a great deal more difficult.
At least I had 6 months. 6 months without him and his boozing and his thieving and his fists and his bloody ridicule. 6 months without everybody in town knowing I was frightened of him. You ought to go to my house and see some of the bolts on the doors. You should have seen some of the marks on me. You should have tried it for 20 years. And Kellaway said to me, murderers are animals. I nearly told him then. Some of the people who get murdered are animals.
You could have divorced him.
Oh, I thought of that. Told him I would. He told me what would happen if I did. He would have done it. I knew George Kershaw. I think I'm the only one in town that did. You told me I'd got a lot to lose. Well, let me tell you something. None of it was worth having. None of it's any loss now. When I saw him laid out, I laughed, and I thought, I wish it had happened 15 years ago.
You behave like that in court and I'll resign from the case. Keep quiet, do as I say, and let me use the law.
Miss Peterson said it was private and urgent.
Oh, she'd better hurry up then.
Jonathan, the letter you were given on Friday is admissible.
Dear lady, it must be Christmas. You're giving it to me on a plate, are you sure?
I can give you case law, chapter and verse.
Oh. Well, why didn't that idiot Junior of mine try it?
You never gave him a chance. He's being flogged to death on your big civil case for your big fat fee.
Oh, I should have looked it up myself sooner or later, you know. Well, I'll take the letter. I trust you will do me the professional courtesy of furnishing me with case law.
I can do that, yes. Written in blood.
Well, I'd better stop.
Are you all right? Can I get you anything?
Another type of work, perhaps?
Will you look at that letter, Mrs. Ramsdell? In whose handwriting is it written?
Mine.
Whose signature does it bear?
Mine.
And to whom is it addressed?
The late George Kershaw.
Mrs. Ramsdell, will you please now read the letter?
I've told you often enough I want to get rid of you. I've offered you a divorce, and you've just laughed and threatened me with what you'll do if I try it. This is your last chance. I'll get rid of you, George, because now I hate you enough to go to prison if I have to, for doing it.
Silence. Are you objecting to the admissibility of this evidence, Miss Peterson?
No, my lord. I've had opportunity to consider the authorities.
And on what authorities are you relying, Mr. Osmond?
My lord, the authorities are these, and in my considered opinion are irrefutable.
Don't care what you say. That Peterson woman had no right to behave like that. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to pay her, and you'll be damn lucky to get your bill settled.
It was explained to your wife. She agreed.
And she still signs the checks. Drink?
Not with you.
Well, why don't you just go home and write a few more anonymous letters? You know, Miss Peterson's killing herself. You'd think it was her trial.
Perhaps it is. Oh, well. We'll see what happens.
Sad old business. All the skeletons wandering out of all the cupboards. Joyce frightened to death of George for all those years. Now poor little Jimmy Ramsdell frightened to death of Joyce. Frightened enough to shop her. The human race is a real circus, friend. I'm just glad I'm one of the clowns.
My lord, I have no wish to recapitulate the details of the tragic event which has brought us here. You've heard them and must make your own judgment. May I remind you of the 20 years of terror endured by the defendant, Mrs. Ursula Joyce Ramsdell? May I remind you of the large house and quiet grounds, the peaceful neighborhood? And inside that house, the barred doors, the evidence of a man's savagery, sometimes through drink, but many times through evil perversity. May I remind you of a woman's courage in leaving that house daily to go about her work, to become a successful and respected figure in this community. A life made up of days of achievement and nights of fear. You will have seen a letter stating her desperation, her inability to endure that life any longer. I am asking you to weigh these circumstances carefully and with compassion. In such circumstances, if there is guilt, surely there is mitigation for that guilt. If there is guilt, surely there is full and adequate reason for clemency. I would submit that her tolerance, her love, her capacity to endure was stretched beyond human limit.
I would like time to consider what Miss Peterson has said. I shall therefore adjourn now for a little while.
Call to arise.
It'll all be over soon, and Bosanquet makes up his mind. Another day, another dollar. Where are you next?
Back to town. I've got 3 rather nice chaps, they say, pinch some scaffolding.
Oh, they're nice chaps. They could pinch better than that. I've got a company embezzlement at the Bailey. Ah, here she is. Portia with teeth and claws.
And a good mind to stick in a research bill to you.
I'd pay it. Congratulations, Harriet. It was a good job.
The judge is coming back.
Oh.
Ursula Joyce Ramsdell, you have been found guilty of murder. The only sentence permitted by law is one of life imprisonment, which sentence I now pronounce upon you. It is within my power to recommend a certain minimum term of imprisonment to be served. That power is normally exercised only in cases where the judge thinks that the period of imprisonment likely to be served by the person convicted is not long enough, bearing in mind the severity and nature of the offense or offenses. I do not propose to make such a recommendation in this case, so that the authorities may not and will not be hampered in their discretion to allow you to go free after a suitable period. Miss Peterson, I know it's late, but I would be grateful for a word with you.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. You could have got 15 to 20 years if the judge had slapped a minimum on you.
And so?
And no promises, Joyce, but you could be out in 5 years.
Because we played it straight.
Perhaps. Our Miss Peterson might be a very shrewd lady, without knowing it, as well as a very honest one.
5. I don't mind. You do something, you pay the price for it. I reckon that price is fair enough. Will you run the business for me?
Of course, if that's what you want. What about Jimmy Ramsdell?
What about him? He's the only one who could have sent that letter. But I don't suppose we'll ever find out. Like Kellaway said when this lot started, I'm not lucky with them. If I don't see her, will you tell your lady in the wig I am grateful? At least I was lucky there.
Yes. Take care, Joyce.
I thought I'd come and find you. I've got an impatient chauffeur this trip.
I thought they all were.
Most of them. Miss Peterson, I wanted to speak to you because I know what an effort of conscience this case has cost you. Let me tell you 3 things. First, the doctor said I should retire 2 years ago, and I know what they say in the bar mess. They say I take too much of my law from the barristers in front of me, instead of going back to my lodgings to search for it myself. This case, therefore, may force me to consider both opinions in terms of my impending retirement.
Well, that would be a pity, Judge.
No. Second, what you did was right. If, having found the case law, you had not handed it to Osmond, and that fact had come to light later, you would have been guilty of misleading the court, one of the most serious offenses a barrister can commit. Third, and most important, men have been hanged because defense counsel did as you did. This is how precedent is created. This is how justice is done. This is the law.